I now give the floor to the representative of the Russian Federation.
Thank you, Mr. President. We thank the Special Coordinator for the Middle East, Nikolai Mladenov, for the briefing. The Russian Federation advocates stepping up international efforts for resolving crises, specifically in the Middle East and North Africa. This is a vast region, from Lebanon, Israeli, and the Syrian-Israeli borders to the Persian Gulf and Western Sahara. Unfortunately, this region continues to teeter on the brink of yet another escalation. Such a tenuous state of affairs is liable to collapse due to a slight miscalculation, an accidental, misguided step. Without caution, the consequences of such a scenario are liable to be catastrophic for the entire world. Under such circumstances, it is especially important to implement preventive diplomacy. With full-blown conflicts and violent hostilities, it is already too late to adopt preemptive measures. It is necessary to focus on seeking peaceful solutions. However, with respect to Palestine, it is still possible to bring the situation on a political track to forestall a fresh wave of violence in the very heart of the Middle East. The state of affairs with Palestinian-Israeli settlement is of deep concern. Recent events within and around Gaza confirm the fact that violence is filling in a vacuum that has been created in the absence of progress in the revival of the political process. This is a threat that was flagged in the report by the Middle East Quartet of International Mediators on Middle East Settlement back in July 2016. It included information about how to prevent such developments from taking place. We note with regret that none of the relevant recommendations were implemented. The issue of illegal Israeli settlements, the Israeli authorities' demolition of Palestinian property, as well as provocative and inflammatory rhetoric on both sides have only gained traction. We are alarmed by unilateral approaches which are gaining ground. These in no way help to implement those agreements that were previously reached through international organizations, above all at the United Nations. We are firmly convinced of the inadmissibility of any actions that prejudge the outcome of peace negotiations, nor is peace advanced by attempts to entrench new realities on the ground through national legislation. The only possible way to achieve a settlement lies through direct dialogue between the parties to the conflict, leading to the implementation of the two-state vision on the international legal basis, which includes United Nations Security Council resolutions and the Arab Peace Initiative. The Russian Federation stands ready to do its utmost to facilitate its revival. We stand ready to do so in conjunction with other international players, including at the Quartet. We shall persevere in our efforts bilaterally with Israel and Palestine. Russian President Vladimir Putin held constructive talks with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu and Palestinian President Mr. Abbas during their visit to Moscow several days ago. For the moment, these were separate meetings. However, our initiative of convening a Palestinian-Israeli summit in the Russian Federation remains on the table. I stress that the Palestinian side has already consented to this proposal. Several days ago, our principled vision was again relayed to the Israeli side during Foreign Minister Lavrov's visit to West Jerusalem. We value the role of regional players, specifically Egypt and Jordan, on the Palestinian-Israeli track. We are facilitating efforts undertaken by Egyptian partners to surmount the divide in Palestinian ranks through contacts with a wide array of Palestinian groups. We support the international assistance delivered to the Palestinians, including through the United Nations Relief Works Agency, UNRWA. We listened with attention to what was stated by my colleague, Madam Haley, on this count. I should like to believe that following such an emotionally charged statement, the situation here will qualitatively improve. The operations of UNRWA go beyond the framework of purely humanitarian missions. These carry key significance for stabilization in Palestine and the whole region. Disruptions in operations of UNRWA due to insufficient finances are liable to cause major consequences. Mr. President, achievement of progress in renewal of the political process on the Palestinian-Israeli track will, without a doubt, have a positive impact on the whole situation in the Middle East and in North Africa. It is necessary for all of us to pool efforts along these lines as well as in other areas, including Syria, Yemen, and Libya. It is also important to maintain support to the Iraqi authorities to further stabilize the situation in that country. Facilitating Syrian refugees' return to their homes will advance both the process of normalization of the situation in the Syrian Arab Republic and improvement of the socioeconomic situation in the host countries, above all, the neighbors, Lebanon, Jordan, and Turkey. It appears to us that the 25 June debates, a Russian initiative at the Security Council, debates at the Security Council, confirmed the urgent need to craft a common, constructive, and unifying agenda for both the Security Council and the international community as a whole on the Middle East. It is important to translate this vision into practical action, whilst at the same time doing everything possible to shield previously crafted mechanisms for collective security, such as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action on the Iranian nuclear program. This plays a key role for the global nonproliferation regime. Maintaining it will help to preclude tensions spiraling out of control in the region. Mr. President, the Russian Federation stands ready to participate in such efforts alongside all interested partners on the basis of frank and objective dialogue. An example of this was the recent talks between Presidents Putin and Trump in Helsinki. Thank you.
Thank the representative of the Russian Federation.